right. We back. Damn, it's cold.
Like a gas station on the highway that
It's artillery. So we still loved this hoodie.
That's really why I wonder why people use hold that part. Yeah. They announced the show without telling me. Yeah. So like it fucked up my plan to get the people there.
Well, because it was a different day.
Well, it's just like, yo, I had my high school is sending a bus of kids from the school.
They never sent the bus.
A bus fits 63. They were going to ship 63 kids.
Yeah, they never sent the bus.
Yeah, but it was full anyway.
Yeah, it was full. We sold that out.
If they would have been fucked if they sent a bus.
It's the studio right around the corner from you. From literally. See, this is another interesting part because I feel like with all of the shows that I've done, literally since being a solo artist, have been new like feats or new challenges, right? So like the first show was doing the acoustic set with just guitar and cajon. This was the first time that I ever did backing track and band.
Right, like full backing track.
You know what I mean? Like being
band,
like, yo,
yeah.
this is like what like the top artists do.
Right.
So it was unique because remember, like we were going through tracks and what do we mute? What do we not mute? What do we want to keep in the track?
Right.
What's going to be filled in by the players? So it's just super. I just remember, and honestly, like it felt like I was.
A lot of it was pretty easy because like Quan filled in a lot of stuff bass wise, where it's like we were able to still leave like a lot of like the bass stuff in the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the drum stuff, Chris kind of like dubbed over,
right.
like,
and then Dave just
like it wasn't that bad making the backing tracks. They were
for me it was just unique.
It was more the vocal stuff trying to figure out. Okay, like,
and again, like
which backing vocals do you want? That
whole first show, one vocal, I'm singing the whole time. So whatever I do, I'm doing it. With this, it's strangely enough, there's more room for error because
you have to adhere
to And now I'm performing these songs different. So Stay for the Weekend was different. All the songs were low-key different than they were in the acoustic set. So like for me, like again, like even though this was like shortly after, it was like we have to rehearse just as much again because I have to make sure that I'm on with recorded versions as opposed to acoustic versions of the song. So yeah, super crazy.
You only had a couple rehearsals.
Yo, and I never, this was the first show where I ever had a backing vocal on a track. Anytime I performed with the Goonies, it was full band.
It's just going to be a side chain sweep. So
See the hand? Kid's a hand model.
Okay. Okay.
Kids in the booth.
Pat!
Story of my life.
Pat, can we do the
Pat,
real quick?
Pat, help me, Pat. Pat, please help.
I'll stand back if it's 4-1.
What? I can. Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell I was doing. Did we record this?
Nah. It was just for the aesthetics. Nah. I think
I don't even know why I was
I think the volumes of everything, and you had to play the tracks.
Oh right.
Ooh.
That was fire.
I forgot about Call Me.
I hope we're doing that.
My bad, bro. Yeah, practice.
I hope we're doing that. That's crazy. Literally, we had the intro.
Dave, if you're listening, I hope that hat went in the fireplace. I pray.
Geez.
Damn, and what a screenshot to pause on for Dave. That was a very unique time because it was, like I said, the first time we were playing with a band with a backing track and just like getting all these dudes together, and scheduling was crazy. And obviously,
it was a tight turnaround too.
Me and Dill had to, drive to Brooklyn just for this rehearsal, and a lot of things, like a lot of people, I guess what I want to say is that when people ask me questions about like being a musician and, how long I've been doing it and how do I do certain things, it's these moments, right? It's like we drove 2 hours, 2.5 hours, sometimes 3 hours with traffic to a rehearsal that would last an hour, maybe 2 hours. But I think this ended up, because what happened was, remember, Quan was sleeping. We couldn't get a hold of him. So we were all there, but him, we finally got a hold of him. Yeah, and he was like, oh, shit. So then he came. So by the time he got there, and Dave had to leave at a certain point. Right. So, like, I think by the time we rehearsed, we had like 45 minutes to an hour. And it was like, most people would be like, well, what's the point? It's not worth it to drive out there. Like, you
had no choice.
But that's the thing. That's the difference is like, if you really love this shit and you really like you have to do crazy. You have to be crazy. Like people have to say, yo, Mike, you're crazy for doing that. Like, yo, we would drive to Brooklyn to shoot a video that was 15, 20 minutes and we spent 5 hours in a car total. But like, you're not getting a subway shot in Connecticut. Right. No. So therefore you have to go do it. And other people were like, yo, that's not worth my time, my money, whatever. It's just like, I'm just conditioned to being like, whatever we have to do to get it done, no matter how much time it takes and how much time we're losing, we're gonna get it done. And that like, for me, that's, because all these dudes.
Did you only do one rehearsal? I think you might have.
I don't think we rehearsed twice.
Yeah, no. I think you did one rehearsal.
I think we did one rehearsal. And
it was the first time these guys had like actually
it was the first time played together, and I remember Chris was like, yo, I know somebody who plays bass.
Yeah.
Brought in Quan.
I mean, Chris and Quan are phenomenal.
Yeah, they're disgusting, and Dave he's just in a different atmosphere of like
and Dave
guitar. He knew the songs.
He knew the songs.
So we knew as long as Dave knew things, we knew, and Chris knew the songs too, but he knew it on a cajon. He didn't know it on a kit.
Right.
So
he
like
he hadn't played to those tracks.
Right.
And I don't think he had necessarily heard the tracks until like we were like, all right, let's do them like.
But it was great because he honestly is like a super showman.
Yeah,
and
they crushed it
when he stepped on stage. Like,
crushed it.
Yeah, they bro. I have not one bad thing to say about them as players and as just like the people that they are. They show up and they did their job and they made us sound really good and look really good and it all went good. But yeah, that moment was like a lot of people would be like, oh, that's not worth it, whatever. But like at the same time, the reason that we only needed one rehearsal was because I was conditioned. Dave's conditioned, Chris's conditioned, Quan's conditioned, you were conditioned. We're all conditioned to what we do. So it wasn't about, you see that quote, it's like, oh, if it takes me 20 minutes to do my job, so you're not paying me for the 20 minutes, you're paying me for the 10 years.
Yeah, right,
that's what this is.
No, yeah.
If that was my first time performing or rehearsing or knowing that, or you, how did, doing the direction and the musical direction and Dave playing and like all, we would have struggled, we would have failed.
Right.
But because we were all so, trained in our things, that bringing that together, it was like, Power Rangers unite! Yeah! Like that's what it felt like to me. So, yeah, man, I'm excited to see the next one because, that's, you have the rehearsal and then you have the show. So
I don't know if I've seen the show footage. So
let's get it. That's another one. Michael Minelli, Patrick Jaguar, a.k.a. Smooth, Dylan behind the camera. I ain't do this the whole time, but hey, it don't matter because that's what these are about.